Hello, fellow Murdlers. Today is Sunday, April 7th, 2024, and it's a great day to solve a murder. Today we have the mystery of the left-handed bottle of Cabernet toilet wine, and we have 3 6x6 grids with suspects, locations, and weapons. I believe we will have a red murder clue today. Yep. A rope of designer clothes was used to commit the murder. So for our how, we can put a rope of designer clothes, and we will use our detective's notebook, the clues and evidence, and any deductive reasoning we can apply to figure out our who and our where. All right, so let's go ahead and figure out who our suspects are today. We have Chancellor Tuscany, Sister Lapis, President Amaranth, Miss Saffron, Lady Violet, and Officer Copper. The weapons today are exploding cufflinks, a bottle of Cabernet toilet wine, a literal pair of golden handcuffs, a gold watch, a shiv made from a Mont Blanc, and a rope of designer clothes. Finally, our locations are the guard tower, the tennis courts, the movie theater, the Michelin-starred cafeteria, the private suite, and the spa. All right, let's go ahead and dive into our clues and evidence. First off, we have an anagram puzzle. Chancellor Tuscany was seen hanging around beneath the cushion of a velvet seat. Okay. Chancellor Tuscany was seen hanging around beneath the cushion of a velvet seat. So I know that's the movie theater. Velvet seats. Yep. So Chancellor Tuscany in the movie theater. All right. Officer Copper brought exploding cufflinks. Okay, very straightforward. These, I believe, are the exploding cufflinks, and we'll assign those to Officer Copper. The suspect with a pair of literal golden handcuffs also had blonde hair. So let's look through our suspects. We have gray hair for Chancellor Tuscany, brown hair for Sister Lapis, red hair for President Amaranth, blonde hair for Miss Saffron, and blonde hair for Lady Violet, and Officer Copper, but we already know which weapon Officer Copper had. So for the handcuffs, let's see, this is between these two, so I'm going to put question marks for Miss Saffron and Lady Violet, and I'm going to mark everyone else with an X. Okay, a red drop was discovered wet. I know people hate this clue. This is from the bottle of Cabernet toilet wine, and yes, the drop would be wet. I agree, this is not necessarily the best, but this is telling us that anytime you see discovered wet, that's going to be the spa for this, the luxury prison games. So everything in here is wet. So red drop is going to be red drop behind. Oh, maybe not, but red wine. So yeah, I agree. This is not the most satisfying clue. It doesn't necessarily connect all the way, but we've seen something like this before. So we know that the wine was in the spa. And just to acknowledge, I feel you on that frustration. Okay. Whoever had a gold watch also had green eyes. Okay, gold watch. And let's look at who has green eyes. It could be Chancellor Tuscany. Okay, it can only be Chancellor Tuscany. Chancellor Tuscany is the only one with green eyes. So that also tells us the location of the gold watch, since we already knew Chancellor Tuscany's location. So we'll go over here and we'll put the gold watch in the movie theater. A single cufflink was discovered next to a net. Okay, so that's going to be the tennis courts. And that'll be Officer Copper at the tennis courts. I've already forgotten what our murder clue was. Okay, designer clothes. Okay. This fingerprint was found in the Michelin-starred cafeteria. That's President Amaranth, based on these two right here. Yep, okay. President Amaranth in the cafeteria. So that will also tell us that President Amaranth did not have the wine, as that was in the spa. Okay. Whoever had the Cabernet toilet wine was left-handed. All right, so let's look at the folks that don't already have anything assigned to them. I think that's just these 4. Yep. And of these 4, only Miss Saffron is left-handed. So that tells us 2 things. It tells us, 1, that Miss Saffron did have the toilet wine. Actually, it tells us 3 things, because now we know that Miss Saffron was in the spa. And it also tells us that Lady Violet must have had the golden handcuffs. All right. Okay, a stain from very expensive ink was found next to a king-size bed. So that's going to put the Shiv from a Mont Blanc in the private suite with the king-sized bed. And the other thing is the ink is pricey. Okay. So now looking over here at our suspects, we see there are two people who could have the Shiv made from a Mont Blanc, and that's going to be Sister Lapis or President Amaranth. However, we already know that President Amaranth was in the Michelin-starred cafeteria. So that means that President Amaranth could not have had this weapon. It must have been with Sister Lapis, and that puts President Amaranth with the rope of designer clothes and makes him our murderer today. So let me go ahead and say we had President Amaranth in the Michelin-starred cafeteria. I'll fill in these others in a moment, but for now, let's go ahead and mark this in. President Amaranth with a rope of designer clothes in the Michelin-starred cafeteria. And again, that was a process of elimination clue. We knew where this weapon, the Shiv made from Mont Blanc, was, and that's in the guest or the private suite. And because we knew where that was, we could then look at the two possible people we had left to fill for that row, which was Sister Lapis and President Amaranth. And then we can kind of just go down here and see only one of them is available to be in the private suite, and that would be Sister Lapis. And that will go ahead and solve the location and the whole puzzle for us as well. Anyway, I'm going to take a moment, fill out the rest of my grid, and then we'll go ahead and see if we were right. Okay, there's the grid all filled out. That didn't take too long. So let's go ahead, we'll make our accusation. So President Amaranth with a rope of designer clothes in the Michelin-starred cafeteria, and let's see if we were right. All right, we were right. Thanks so much for playing along with me today. I hope this was a helpful walkthrough, and we'll see you tomorrow.